That boy Maryland, honey. Okay. Welcome back. Welcome back. The Weave Doctor is back and ready to attack. I hope you guys had a wonderful and fabulous Mother's Days weekends for the good mothers and all the bad mothers out there. Hello. Child, even some of y'all bad mothers deserve some child, you did let the baby stay in your womb, okay? All the mothers deserve all the glory, okay? Even though they might have had a bad story. Okay, so anyway, today the Wig Doctor, we are going to be talking about. Now, for those who don't know, I am a hair loss specialist, and I create custom wigs, especially for those who have hair loss, and for those who just want to get a custom wig more fitted to their scalp and head size. There's a lot of people out there tired of wearing them baggy wigs. Okay, some of y'all tired of wearing them baggy wigs just sliding all the way off your complete entire head. Okay. You don't have to worry about that if you get your lace wig. That is custom made for your hair measurements, okay? Or just getting a custom wig in general, because a lot of times those wigs are more, they have like kind of like a suction effect, and it has like elastic and all these different types of things. So it makes it a lot more better for you to get a better a fit, okay? Makes a more tighter fit to your head. All right, honey dolls and gents. And it is getting, I would say it's like, no, it's getting hot in here. Okay, take off all your clothes. It's still taking a little while to get hot. I've been noticing some little 70s and 80s days every now and then. But, I've been seeing there's a lot of people trying to get a wig done, honey. A lot of people been trying to get their wig done from the holidays. Hello. Honey, if you want to go get your wig done for the holidays, hit the Weave Doctor up. Even though I think a lot of my clients already booked their appointment. Okay. They already booked their appointment. So anyways, and that's another thing. We're going to be discussing, child, how to get a consultation with the Weave Doctor. There are so many people trying to figure out how to chop, and praise the Lord for that. There are so many people trying to figure out how to book with the DMV Weave Doctor. Okay, number one, I'm going to give you some steps. Make sure you write these steps down. This is step number one. Step number one, okay, click the link. I'm going to try to put the links on here. And, you can either click a link at Calendly.com with Chelsea Mitchell / or you can come in person. Now, again, I'm going to tell you, we like to keep it 2,000 in the year 2023. Okay, number one, these are complimentary sessions. Okay, don't be trying to come to the complimentary session and get a whole hour session. And some of you guys are, like we saw in the comments, child, they got blocked. That's another thing about we Doctor will block you in a minute, especially if you're being too foolish in the comment section. She was having a complaint about her wig getting taken off in front of other clients, honey. And honey, but the Wig Doctor be telling y'all to get the one-on-one, depending on how many clients that we have. Sometimes the Wig Doctor spot is packed. Okay. We have consultation every week, but hold on now. The Wig Doctor has upgraded for this year. The last couple of weeks, we have now a specialized trichology room. So for those who are very, very sensitive, you probably can possibly go in there. That one will be a little bit more secluded, because sometimes, child, the Wig Doctor is just packed like a rat. Okay, child, the Wig Doctor be trying to pay them bills like Destiny's Child. Hello, child. We Doctor was trying to pay them bills like Destiny's Child, honey. So we gotta have all them customers scrunched up in there like rodents. No, that's just the way that I how I do hair. Some people are very I hate to be rude or not. I'm not trying to be rude. Some people are very slow doing hair. I'm an extreme multitasker. Okay. The Wig Doctor can do 4 to 5, sometimes 6 clients at the same time. We all are getting out around 7 to 7:30 p.m. Generally the first client. I tell people now, some of these services take a long time, honey. Don't be coming to the Wig Doctor and you got a wedding to go afterwards. You're going to miss your own wedding and probably funeral. But, a lot of these hair loss and services, and even the restoration services take at least about 2.5 hours. The hair you have to sit under the low light laser therapy. Those sessions have to be at least a minimum of 20 minutes, honey dolls and gents. Then you have to get the scalp exfoliation. That's about 15 minutes. or 20 minutes alone. So the scalp detox, depending if we're using our clays, if we're going to use any type of herbal treatments on the scalp, those things have to absorb for for a lengthy amount of time. So it's nothing to rush, child. Though nothing good comes to those who rush. Okay. So those are just some different things. And so now at least we're expanding. We have a lot of different rooms in our facility, but we're expanding. So we have even more rooms. So we're sorry for the lady who felt like she didn't get all her privacy. But even though we tell everybody, all of our in-person consultations, they're child, it's just like walking in, just like you walk into McDonald's. Child, you don't know how many people gonna be at McDonald's. That's just like how the Wig Doctor's apothecary can be. Okay, especially, so we can have a lot of clients, even though certain areas, there are some certain sections that we can at least see your scalp. But if you're looking for a more private experience, then you definitely probably want to go ahead and pay that $90, honey. Go ahead and pay that $90, baby. So when you go ahead and pay that $90, honey, when you go ahead and pay that $90, you're going to get you 45 minutes. 45 minutes to an hour talking to the Wig Doctor. You can ask all y'all questions. Some of y'all coming to the Wig Doctor's apothecary trying to ask me 100 questions for free. You're not going to be able to ask me all them questions while I got 5 and 6 different clients. Now, you might be able to, but you might not get the personalized, I guess, experience. And that's, so we've had some clients that was talking about this. So, honey, if you want the ultimate experience, you got to deep in them pockets, deep in them pockets. Okay, so anyways, we talked about that, and all of the consults, they can be reached at Calendly.com, Chelsea./Chelsea.y.Mitchell. You can go on there and you can, pretty much book a free consultation. It's very self-explanatory. All right. Okay, so today we're talking about some of the cranial prosthesis. And another thing, child, the Wig Doctor is doing some hair replacement classes. Yes, honey. Inbox the Wig Doctor, and also different coaching for those who want to learn how to expand their clientele. Okay, you tired of having the same old clients getting on your nerves week after week, child? The Wig Doctor kick people out. I've read a post online. Somebody said they don't kick out no clients. May God continue to bless you in your hands. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. So yeah, child, the Wig Doctor be kicking people out. Y'all gotta kick some of these clients out that's bringing too much stress. And sometimes you may have to update your pricing, update your marketing approach, so you can get to accomplish some of the different levels, that you want to be seeing weekly or monthly for your business. So make sure to inbox us. I think we have that on the Calendly and at my other link. If not, you can go to our per version main. Go to the link tree. The link tree has all that information for people who are trying to find out, honey, how to, run a business. Child, it's hard out here for a pep. People trying to learn all these things on their own. And this is going to be on our link tree. Our link tree has even the classes, even the consults. And that's another thing for those and that's another thing for those who want to get a scalp analysis. You coming to our business and us looking at your scalp just for a brief consultation for the complimentary, honey, you're not getting no dermoscopy with that included. Okay, you're gonna have to pay our little fee or get some of our trichology sessions. So that is a different specialized appointment that is not included in the complimentary. Try about everybody be trying to get stuff for free in year 2023. I know it may rhyme together, but it's not time for that. You have to come out your pocket and get your trichology session if you want to get your hair scalp analysis. You want us to determine, and that's another thing. We do not diagnose, cure, or treat. We're holistic practitioners, and we just assess what's going on and look at some of the different, recommend some of our products and some of our different services that we have to offer. All right. So now we're going to be discussing the difference. Now, the Wig Doctor may keep it brief today because I don't know why I've been going to the restroom too much. Okay. We're talking about the difference between fashion wigs and cranial prosthesis. Why some wigs cost so much money, and just some information about the different types of wigs. Number one, a lot of the fashion wigs, child, you can get that. They have a lot of those stores, Love Me and different ones like that online. Those generally those wigs are for fashion. They generally are not meant for ladies who deal with alopecia, even though some people they like to purchase them, trying to find out what they can get out of them. Okay. Another thing, a lot of them they are highly processed, so you're going to be getting floor hair. So you're going to be, and this hair can come from the hospital. This hair can come from all different places. So you're more likely to be getting a more poor quality hair. Now, even though one thing about this hair, child, they be slapping this plastic all on synthetical plastic and chemicals all over yourself. You don't know what you're breathing and wearing this plastic cheap hair. The more cheaper the hair you're actually, especially when you're doing that wet and wavy style and getting it washed and all that. Honey, all of those chemicals are just being absorbed right into your skin, okay? Honey, and if you are dealing with an autoimmune condition, cancer, anything like that, honey, try to forget, come on down to the wig doctor. Don't be wearing those synthetical, plastic, chemical-laden wigs, okay? They ain't gonna get you nowhere in the year 2023. So those are just some of the things that you have to look into. There are some suppliers that we have, they pretty much use no chemicals, even though over the years I have seen a lot more, even the top suppliers, a lot of them, even though they claim they don't use chemicals, some of them, they're doing some slight mild processing, so some things I just don't agree with. And I think it's because the market has gotten so expanded over the years. There was a time that it wasn't as many Indian and, just different custom type of hair pieces available out on the market. But now, child, everybody and their mama got a hair brand company. Okay, everybody and their mama got a hair brand company, and so it's kind of like almost like it's become oversaturated. So it's like supply and demand. It's just like what some of these restaurants do and different fast food places. What do they do? Like remember McDonald's back in the day actually used to have some really really good French fries. And I remember they used to have some excellent, the chicken nuggets have changed over the years, honey. Don't you notice that stuff is getting cheaper and cheaper and less tasty over the years? I remember there was a time I used to be walking up in that McDonald's, honey. I'd be punishing them chicken tenders. I said chicken tenders, them chicken nuggets and them chicken wings. I said, yeah, they actually had chicken wings. I forgot the name, Mighty Wing. I forgot the name of the wings, but honey, they were good. So, they were doing a lot. Sometimes when the company is getting started off, or if it's not that many people have to supply to, they may, and I know some things with McDonald's, they will only have a certain time where that product was going to be featured. And after that, it was going to be discontinued. So anyways, with all that being, I got on the topic of food. The weed doctor like to eat. Okay. So these are just some of the problems. It's got very oversaturated. So a lot of, some of the quality has changed. I remember there was a time when I was ordering hair, there was actually knits in the hair. This hair was so authentic. Honey, it had lice knits. Now, and I was petrified, especially the first time that I applied this hair into my head. I thought I was going to lose my whole complete mind. Okay. I was just like, oh my goodness. I just was like, whew. The whole time I was like, oh my God, I was reading stuff online. I was like, oh my God, I hope I don't got no lice getting in my head the whole time. And a lot of people don't understand that generally once, even if those lice were a living, generally about within a 10 to 12 day process, a lot of the nits and the lice, they're dead if it's not attached to a host. I know I had posted a week ago about a topic about a woman. It was a Black lady that had lice in her head. I don't know how she got it. Maybe she could have been homeless. Or maybe she just really, she just was bad on her luck. So I don't know. But generally, most of the time, you are not supposed to be, and they were really attached to her actual weave hair. So I don't know what happened with that situation. That was a very nasty situation. I don't know what happened with that. Okay. Anyways, moving right along. With some of these low quality wigs or the fashion wigs that we talked about earlier, that can, some of them Amazonian wigs, different wigs like that, a lot of them, they're lasting about 2 to 4 months, and especially if you're going to wear them every day, a lot of them may or may not give you a full 13x4 frontal. And I know a lot of y'all be thinking y'all getting a deal. Look on them edges. Look at your edges when you buying these wigs. You're gonna see you got a half of a centimeter around the this part, the frontal, and you only for real just gonna get a closure. Okay, so a lot of these companies, child, they are doing mass production and they are finding ways to to make the highest profit and to sell the lowest cost, because they know a lot of people. Child, they know people be trying to get a break. Okay, give me a break. Kit Kat bar. Okay. Everybody know that people want to get a break. And so people think that they're getting, it's virgin hair. Is this, is Brazilian, is that? And then they get it, honey. Then they find out they got, got a little bit of lace. Some people probably don't even look into all that. So those are some of the things with that. Another thing, the knots may not be as small. So it just depends. It has a lot of different issues that can come in buying these wigs. Sometimes they may not curl as well or be as dense. Or it can run very small or very large. It's not really customized to your scalp or your head size. So it can be very extremely roomy at times. I've had some clients and they tell me, I am tired of buying these 2 small wigs or these 2 large wigs. I'm tired of it, especially if you have a small head. If you have a very small head, you probably, or a very big head, you may have to look into actually getting a wig constructed and made. And that's where the cranial prosthesis and other different type of wigs that are made specifically to your head measurements and the different forms of alopecia. Child, they keep you in mind. Okay, some of these companies, they trying to keep their pockets in mind. They're not thinking about you, boo. You think you're getting a deal, baby, but baby, you're going down. Okay, now the next thing we're going to be talking about, the difference between different types of lace. Now, there is a very bad concept out there. Swiss lace is bad. I don't know who made this up, and I've had some clients who thought they were purchasing HD from me. Said, "Oh, this a bad lace. I can see this." Child, ain't nothing wrong with that lace. You just been looking too much on Instagram, and a lot of the stylists, especially the younger stylists nowadays, they only use HD lace. The only problem with that is sometimes the HD lace sheds more. Okay, it's more fragile. You're going to have to replace it more often, even though it can appear more seamless. And it really just depends. Because I purchased, I have some companies who I bought HD lace from, and I wasn't that excited about it, honestly. I actually was more excited about the Swiss and the transparent lace. Number one is because it really depends on the combination of the lace knots. Some companies, like I was saying, they taking, I don't know, I guess they're trying to just like that very dense full look. So girl, you're gonna be looking like a monkey. Girl, you're gonna be looking like a monkey at the top of your head. Having all them big knots, all the weft going to be all close and conglomerated together. It's just gonna look like you got a big old carpet sitting on top of your head. Okay. And I've seen this with HD lace, and and the knots were large too, so it was really defeating the purpose. I find that for HD to work, the hair has to have a fine hairline density, and I guess some of the older companies, they feel like, well, we're not doing that because we know that it doesn't last as long. Because one thing I will say, honey, if them knots are very close together. And I have some vendors that do that occasionally, even though I don't like it at all. Honey, that wig, a lot of time, is going to last forever and ever. Child, just like he sweat. That wig going to make it last forever. And so that's one of the things sometimes when it's so dense like that. It's just highly dense. And so that's just one of the things. I know people calling me, child, acting like I ain't live or whatever. I don't even know how to text. I wish I could text somebody. While I'm probably going to text this person now. Because I know they're going to be trying to text me back the whole entire time that I'm on here. Whoo, child. They trying to stop my, they're trying to stop my praise. Leave me alone. I'm doing my live right now. So I was trying to text them, honey, but I don't think they're getting the point. So anyways, just the lace alone is not what makes a good wig or a frontal. It has to do sometimes with the lace knots. Some of the companies, they're making very large lace knots. You look like you got black dots all up in your wig. And sometimes it's just, not every company Hello, not every company is doing those super, super small knots. Not everyone is doing that method. I know one thing, when the pandemic came, there were a lot of Korean, a lot of child, you don't know when you're buying this hair, they come from overseas. And so Korea, they had that market cornered. They had a lot of people doing those small individual knots. And with that approach, it looks very seamless, looks very, very, very natural, especially if you have the small knots, if you have the lace, kind of look what they call pre-pluck. Hello. And we found a lot of times, some of these companies be lying talking about this pre-pluck. Pretty much it's just called gradual density. And these are different things that you can get when you're ordering a custom wig or custom cranial prosthesis. You can get the wig doctor to order it so the factory can make it approximately to your specific needs, or I can do it myself. Another thing, so the hairline and the density of all these things can make the lace and the other component. And sometimes I will say bleaching knots, with bleaching knots, with some of my different suppliers, some suppliers, depending on how they do the knots, I know they have like an invisible knot, a hidden knot. Some knots are small. Sometimes you can still see the knots. Okay. Sometimes some of these things are different, are inevitable. Some of the knots, different companies, it's harder to dye the knots, baby. Some of them knots just be sitting right on top of the lace. Girl, they don't be budging. Okay, honey. That's the only problem though. Sometimes when you're doing these things, and it's just not going to be what you think it's going to be. I'm trying to make sure I'm still on this daggone stream, y'all. While I'm sitting there going to the rafters. All right. So those are just some of the different fun facts about that. Let me go back onto my list. Okay, we already talked about HD lace does not last as long, even though it can blend in very seamlessly, depending on the company, the knots, and the density, and all those other things. Also, now I don't believe it lasts as long as transparent or Swiss lace. The transparent and Swiss lace to me lasts longer. And some people say transparent lace is for maybe very light complected women, but child, I love transparent lace. I actually prefer transparent lace. I've never had a problem with it. I don't know. I think it makes it look, to me when I put my makeup on it, like I think this one is more transparent lace, and I don't bleach my knots. Okay, I'm not ruining my units faster than what I have to, even though sometimes I tone them. I do other things, but I don't do a lot of bleaching of the knots because I like my unit to last. I'm more old school. I've been doing units before all this plucking and tucking and sucking came out. Okay, I've been doing the hair, alopecia, and these different lace customizer for a long time. All right. So now one thing, transparent lace is thicker. And like I said, I love it on me. And I feel like it works very well on a lot of, I've used it on all complexions. Don't have a problem. I would say sometimes brown lace sometimes is very good for darker complected women, or sometimes having the right HD lace. Even though some people, they try to follow the trends, but a lot of people would say that the HD lace, that the Swiss brown lace looks the best on darker complected women. All right. Another thing, when you get a cranial prosthesis, and that is a medical term for a medical wig that's made specifically for alopecia, or just a custom wig, some of the different custom wigs that are out there from your provider, and especially if they're handmade, they can have less short hairs. A lot of companies, child, again, I tell you, they are mass producing these wigs. They're not thinking about you. They think about their bottom line. They may have more short hairs, especially for these, so honey, you're going to be looking like a porcupine. Okay. Other thing with the cranial prosthesis, it can be, and for those who are just looking for a custom-made wig, it can be customized for your hair loss needs. For those who still need to get scalp injections, still got to go to their dermatologist. There's different clips, different inserts that we can add. We have different supplies that we work with that does all of this. Even now we're doing modes. Okay, I know you guys been asked about modes. However, I will say, I didn't put on my lashes today because the doctor was rushing. I got to go to a massage. One thing I will say, if you're gonna get these custom-made unitives, especially the ones with the mold, honey, that's gonna take longer. It can take anywhere from 4 to 6 months. A lot of people don't like to wait, but what I tell you, with much haste comes waste. Okay, it's a timely process, especially when you're trying to look glamorous, you're trying to look good. You're trying to get this custom unitive made exactly to your head measurements. Okay. So, and the wig doctor has some things in work. You just watch out, all you veterans. Make sure if you know some veterans looking for a wig, send my information to them, honey. The wig doctor is going to hook you up, honey. Okay. So, these are just some of the different things. I'm trying to think, is there anything else with the custom wigs? A lot of them are more, say like if you want to get a more breathable unit, that's another thing that can be done. You can get them glueless at times, depending on if you get a more exact fit. Now, I will say, if you do not get a custom wig, and if you just get some in stock units or lace front units that are more, you know what I'm saying, they are not going to be like necessarily the high grade, even though they're not going to necessarily be bad. But for like our units that within the $600 to $700 range, those are you're not necessarily going to get the exact fitting. You know, it's not going to be necessarily specialized for somebody who has alopecia. So you may see more bumps, child bumps and lumps in that head. Okay, honey. You're not going to be able to customize that one. That one could possibly maybe even slip off. Okay. So these are just some of the different things to look at. Trying to think, is there anything else when you're trying to get a customized unit for hair loss? Different things that, and that's another thing. There are some people that are trying to come to us that are trying to get a net weave or a sew-in. Oh, child, the weave doctor's thing died. The devil is a lie. I guess I didn't charge it long enough. But so I guess I'm going to be ending this live soon. But that's another thing to look into do. When you're trying to order some of these different pieces, child, the weave doctor lost her train of thought. Child, the lights have stopped flashing in front of my eyes. Okay. So with hello. So with all that being said, honey, if you have alopecia, if you're trying to get a custom wig, a custom unitive, make sure that you invest in yourself. Ain't nobody else going to invest in you like you. Okay. Just a wrap up. There are a lot of different wigs that are out there. Some of these wigs, they are not going to give you long lasting results. They may have a lot of short strands within the wig. They may also, the hair may not be curling as well and properly. That's another thing for a lot of the custom made units. They're lasting hand over fist longer than the fashion wigs, especially on some of these websites. We have clients that have been keeping their wigs for 2 and 3 years, okay? Especially with the raw Indian and some of our raw Cambodian hair. So just to show you, it's just some of these hair pieces, they last a very long time. That's why it's good to invest. That's why they're paying all of this money. It's lasting a long time. Now that's one thing I am going to hit on. If you have a full lace unitive, and if that, because most of our full lace units, they are not use a lot of silicone and all that stuff in it. If you do not detangle your hair, okay, child, you just gonna let your hair mat up and rat up and napped up. If you maybe even I had someone the other day, I'm not gonna say their name. They told me they did a roller set on the head and they used all this got to be gel, and they tell me they use wax, they use a lot of body. Child, my hair was hard as a brick, matted. They didn't comb it out. And this hair, when you're having a full lace unit with no hair, sometimes you may not want to get that if you're going to be somebody using a lot of excessive products. If you're not going to be detangling your hair properly. Now, most people we don't have any problems with, but we had a lady, child, we doctor had to detangle her head. Now, thank God hers did not shed. So she just used a lot of body, but she was wetting it at the roots. She did not comb the hair out. So if you're going to get these custom wigs, you're not going to, especially going to get deep curly hair. There is some maintenance that is for that. If not, then we would suggest you to get a very loose curl pattern. Maybe some of our more European or maybe our Peruvian grade hair, the custom made units that, may have a little bit more shine and gloss on the hair. Okay. But we try to inform all of our clients about those things so that they can have a lovely experience. So we hope that this was a very informative discussion today, talking about the difference between just regular lace wigs and custom lace wigs and cranial prosthesis. There is a difference. No, people are not just trying to price gouge you and steal all your money. Okay, even though we all trying to make a living, but there is a difference. And so these are just some of the different things, and we have all different types of units available. And I would say sometimes people think they're paying for the actual wig price. You may be actually paying for the installation, the customizing, the coloring. All these different things are additional services. Everything is a la carte when you generally come to a hair replacement or hair weaving salon. All right, guys. So I hope this has been a lovely time. We hope we had a good show. Hope we were able to educate you guys today, and we will see you next time. Bye now. All right. We doctors got to go.